1,360 miles, 0.1. It was driven by me in a 27-hour period. Basically drove over 10 hours one way, slept for 6 hours something. I had to plug the tire on the fucking highway, right there. That was fucking sweet doing that. So that's a nice sounding car. Oh, that's a fucking race car. Anyway, so and then went to go buy something. So I was so concerned about the 10-hour drive back because it was gonna. We're leaving at 2 in the afternoon, wouldn't get home to midnight, didn't want to drive at night, but whatever, I did. So I didn't look at everything because I was told one thing, and when I looked at it, it looked all good. Then I drove it, and when I got off it, I didn't look at it again, which I should have. Don't need it. Is not as nice as it should be. Not as nice as it is stated to be. When you have, you know, pits like that, and right there, this kind of bullshit, which I would have to say the guy was bullshit because he fucking lied. He said there was no leaks either, but there is. Would have I still done it? Yeah, because it has potential, because I like how this goes down like this. I like the rake in it. I like the neck, how it curves. I like this front spoiler. I like how, let me turn some light on for you. I like how the gas tank is molded right into the ultrame, and what is that? The throttle goes right through the gas tank. I like that. It's an Ultra 120. It's got 140 horse at the rear tire. He said it had X amount of miles, which I just don't want to talk about him no more because I'm fucking tired of him because he lied. What I end up getting is, the guy bought out of Florida in 05. He had it for all these years, and the guy I bought it from had it for like 6 months, and he bought the flip, which I didn't know that at the time, but you know, it is what it's going to be tomorrow. And not the guy I bought it from, but the guy who owned it. Apparently he has 12 bikes. I don't know if that's true or not, but it sounds true because he just let this bike set. That's why I've been spending all this time. He let moisture get to it and pit the shit. You know what I mean? And then all these jugs are all aluminum. You know how hard that's going to be to finger clean that? So I think that part of it's true. Don't know how many miles are on it, which I understand that, and you might not understand that, but there's a lot of bikes out there that are custom choppers or whatever, don't have speedometers on it, or even have the miles on it. This does have a speedo on it, aftermarket. It's got the compression release where you got to push them because it's got so much compression, quote unquote, that it won't turn the motor over. It's got I believe it's a BDL open primary, just like my other bike. That's the oil tank. It's really hard to get the seat off. That stands for bad man. I looked it up. It's Spanish or something. I don't know. The flames are both. I'm not an airbrush guy, but I know, watching enough videos, that real flames are not supposed to look like flames. So what I'm saying is, it's not supposed to look like that. It's not supposed to look like a flame. It's supposed to look like more like that to a certain extent. But this guy apparently was fucking practicing, because that's what killed this bike. This bike is, the paint job's ugly. It just, I can't do any better, but I'm just saying the paint job's ugly. Paint job's coming off. That's about the only thing I'm going to do. And I'm not touching it this year. I got to finish my wife's car. And in between that, just clean this bike up. Next spring, hopefully I have the 32 on the road, but next spring, when I take this apart, I'm putting it right back together. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to let nothing come in between them. Take video of it, the motor coming out, the rims coming out, the front end coming out, me prepping it, me priming it, me metal flake the fuck out of it. That seat's going to get reupholstered, and she's getting put right back together. She's not going to end up like the other chopper. She's not going to. I will not let it happen. I don't think a chopper should have a front fender, but I might change my mind. And choppers should have 2 fog lights in the front, but that's just my opinion, you know. That's my personal opinion. I'm not real happy about his lying. This is what I mean when it looked clean when I bought it. No, before I drove it. And then when I come back, I didn't look at it because I was satisfied and I wanted to load it up on the trailer and get it home. Well, this is what I noticed when I get home. The primary just is blowing fluid. This wasn't there. He had wiped it down really good. He was good. He was a slick fucking salesman, I'll tell you that. He was a really good salesman. The guy was 26 years old. I wouldn't buy anything from him again, but hey, you know, it's a learning curve. See, that wasn't all there. That was all wiped down. That happened within 10 minutes of riding. All that. You know, when oil starts blowing or whatever, it'll blow down the whole side of the bike, you know. All this has just not been maintained. That'll come out, but it'll take a long time to get that aluminum to come back to shape, you know. Bike just sat. I'm not saying the bike's been abused. The bike's not been maintained. It's not been polished like it should. Like I said, I just like the contour. That's what turned me on about it. I like this old school chop shit where it's molded right in. That's what they used to do back in the day, just mold the gas tank right in. I like that. I like where there's no seam right here. It's just molded in, all the way down. Molded in, all this is molded in. I'm sure there's quite a bit of mud in there. And it's got a 300 tire on it. It's pretty hairy. It's not as long as my other chopper, but the rake is pretty hairy. I don't know what the rake is, but it's pretty hairy. When I drove it, it scared me. Then again, I haven't drove a chop in a long time. It's got inverted forks, means the shocks are upside down. Yeah, it just needs a lot of maintenance. You know, a lot of things are pitted. A lot of things are just greasy. And my mistake was I was in a hurry to get home. And would have I still bought it for the price? Yeah, I would have. Even though I don't know how many miles are on it. But usually when you have a lot of miles on it, usually, I'm not saying I know what I'm talking about, usually you'll blow a jug. But I'm going to degrease it and see where else it's leaking. Because I'm sure when you buy something, you always find something more. Apparently they had some different pipes on it where they hogged that out and they didn't like them, something, whatever, I don't know. But just, I'm not a chopper guru or anything, but he says they rebuilt the car. Does that look rebuilt right there? Oh, no, it doesn't look rebuilt. You know, got a new gas line on it. That's what he did. But anyway, so I just guess I have to learn people just lie. That's all. A lot of people lie. Not everybody, but a lot of people lie. But I do like how they ran, the original builder ran the lines to the frame and stuff. There's enough that I like that I will put money into. She needs somebody like me to put her back together, to maintain her, give her some love. You know, they put some time into the bodywork, but the flame job just, you know, you put the flames way up underneath here. And all the molding, that's what turns me on. That somebody put some time into this molding. The flame job, like I said, is just wrong. It's got to go. I usually get carried away and, you know, and I can't. Take it apart, metal flake the fuck out of it, put it back together, drive it. Send me how much I'm going to drive it. And then if I drive it a lot, then I'll go back and I'll re-chrome this. That's pitiful. That's pitiful that you just let a bike sit there and fucking just pit to death. Wow. Because the original owner, he had it all those years and he just let it sit. He just didn't, at least, in my opinion, if you have chrome, If you're not gonna fucking maintain it, you shouldn't even have the bike. But anyway, at least put a goddamn blanket over it, okay? Wrap some blankets around it because it'll hopefully wick the moisture instead of the dew sitting on the chrome and fucking pitting, you know? At least put a blanket on it, but you know, people do whatever they want to do. I could just imagine what this bike cost, new. We're probably easy, because this was built in 05 when OCC was out, and OCC didn't build this, Miami did. But I'm just saying in that era, bikes, these choppers, nobody wants them no more. These choppers were fucking high priced. I say it's at least 30K bike, easy. I know the primary is like 3 grand. The motor's 5 grand right there, and I know the motor's not new. The rims are like another 2 grand, I don't know. I can imagine when this tire gets wore, what this 300 tire is gonna cost, because these bikes aren't popular. So there's not very many manufacturers of these tires because there's not a lot of people riding these bikes anymore. They're dumping them on the market. Except for Shoe. Yeah. She's got you stressed out, I'll tell you that. Your arms are stressed. I gotta get some risers to pull them handlebars back, because when you're sitting on it, you're just stretched right out. You got no elbow bend or nothing. But anyway, yeah. Same thing as my other chop. It's got an Exile /sprocket / brake system built in, and I haven't ever had this. This is kind of nice. This front brake goes here, goes in there, it goes inside that tube apparently to this brake caliper. That has to come inside here somewhere to make it work. And this is what I mean about just letting stuff set. That's gone. That's just pitted. That's just, see, I'm starting to bring some of that stuff back, but I can't bring it all back. This stuff's just, some people just got too much fucking money. That's all. Just my opinion. Doesn't mean anything. And you know, it's been sitting in the sun when you got that right there, and I've already cleaned that. When you got those little speckle marks that are not rust, but they're sun beaten, it's set outside in the sun. I don't know, somewhere. But there it is. There's the oil that leaked underneath it. I'm getting ready to degrease it. Then I go work on the wife's Grand Prix tomorrow, because I got to get back on that. Anyway, piece of property, piece of oneself, piece on earth, rest in peace, bigger piece of pie, piece of extra, piece of pussy, piece of corn dog, piece of pizza, and when the big dogs get all done eating, even the puppies like me get a piece of something, motherfucker. And yeah, so the seat is hard to get off. Let's just pry it with a fucking screwdriver. Are you guys a fucking retard? Just pry it with a fucking screwdriver. Hey, we can't get this fit. Let's just fucking beat it in with a fucking hammer, okay? Because how did that paint come off? Really? Didn't you pre-fit the shit? But hey, and I know this is an afterthought. That looks like shoe with some diamond plate. Really? That's some afterthought shit. But there's enough there that it says that I like it. You got to go, bro. Whoever the initials are, you got to go, bro. I don't like polishing and aluminum and chrome with my fingers and it not coming out very well. It's very discouraging when you're hoping that it'll come out all the way, and that's been polished as much as it can be polished, and it didn't come out. Like I said, if I dried it a lot, which I don't even drive that a lot, or that B-rod or whatever, but maybe that'll change. Maybe it won't, who knows. I always like the fatty. Peace.